I know that they've worked very, very hard, and they didn't do it by themselves. They are dedicated and committed, but so are you as parents to make sure that they are practicing at home. So I'm sure that you've had to instill in them those qualities of dedication and commitment. So we appreciate that and your support. I want to recognize our directors of visual arts. You've seen a lot of the art displays outside. They were produced by the classes of Mrs. Akey, Mrs. Conti, and Mrs. Atry. Also our instrumental director, Mr. John Trader, and our vocal director, Mrs. Anita Davidson. Let's give them a round of applause. We want to recognize Mr. Jim Modell, Supervisor of Humanities. He's here tonight to support the program. Thanks for all you do. And you are definitely in for a treat. We heard this performance today because they performed for the students, their student body today, and they did a phenomenal job. So without further ado, I give you Mr. Trader and the orchestra.
There we go. So the orchestra and the band combined will be playing 7 pieces for you. And out of those 7 pieces, 3 of them would be written for middle school students. So we're really excited. Thanks. We're really, really excited about that because I feel like they were really able to achieve very much this year. And I'm as proud of them as I'm sure that you are and will be after you hear what they're able to do. This first piece is called Chronicles, and it's written by Larry Clark. I just wanted to take a moment to mention a rather awesome donation that we recently received. These folders, which very proud to have, we've had them for the last couple weeks. These folders came from a donation from Mrs. Robb through the working with the EPEF. Unfortunately, recently her father had passed away, and she allowed us to help to honor his memory with these folders. They have his name on the bottom here, and I've been learning a little bit about him when I spoke with her. And what we're hoping is that throughout the years, as we have these folders, every now and then a student will, I'm surely, ask who this is, and then we'll get to speak of him a little bit, and keep him here with us with our program. So I just wanted to once again thank her very much for allowing us to help in this way, and we really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the EPEF, I wanted to once again thank them for the wonderful work that they've done for me this year, music stands that the students are able to use at home now. And I know that many other teachers throughout our district have benefited greatly from the wonderful work that the Ewing Public Educational Foundation does for all of us. So once again, thanks very much to them as well. All right, and the next piece that the orchestra has for you is entitled Maiden's Rescue. As you can hear now, one of the wonderful reasons I love coming here to work with the students is I get to hear this every day. The last piece that the orchestra has for you, probably their most challenging work. You're going to get to see a little bit quicker motion with the bows in certain places here. This piece definitely saw a few nervous faces when I handed this one out, but hopefully you'll agree that they're doing a great job on it also. This is March and Canon.
While the students are getting ready to bring out the band members, I just want to go over a few things. I want to recognize Alyssa Williams and Alexandra Crone for doing the beautiful art on the cover of the program that you have tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. Additionally, under the direction of Miss Akey, Miss Conti, and Miss Attree, the kids really worked hard on the art displays that are out there, and I just want to tell you a little bit about each display. The watercolor leaves, students painted leaves with colors, allowing the colors to bleed into each other to produce color harmony. Working with each leaf while it was still wet, they scratched vein lines into each leaf, and then the students sprinkled them with salt to crystallize the color. Once the leaves were dry, the salt was scraped away, and lastly, the leaves were cut out and glued to produce a collage of color harmony. The word or name designs. The students selected a word or short phrase, then designed the letters and surrounding area to show its meaning. The Peanutize Me, Mrs. Zazowski's students celebrated Charlie M. Schultz and the Peanut movie by making themselves into peanut characters. They then printed the photos of the characters as templates for hand buildings into ceramic self-portraits. And lastly, Andy's Cats. Students studied Andy Warhol and pop art. They chose Andy's earlier work in advertising as an inspiration after learning that he and his mom owned 25 cats during his lifetime, all with the same name, Sam, except for one named Hester. Painting with watercolor, the students added ink to detail the images. And I know everyone's noticed how beautiful the stage has looked. That is under Mrs. Akey's direction is also with our 4th and 5th grade PM EDP students. And I just want to acknowledge them because they worked very hard and are very proud of their work. Brielle Abdullah, Adrisa Ba, Nicholas Chetty, Jameer Williams, Christopher Yule, Thomas Flaherty, DJ Haynes, Michael Kramer, Alexander Crone, Ilya Kushmar, Maureen Leopold, Brandon Mancini, Joseph Mustari, Roxanne Phillips, William Solomon, Jason Torres, Graham Walter, Alyssa Williams. Let's give them a round of applause. We always recognize the support of our wonderful Board of Education, and tonight we have a member, Mr. Kevin Yule, in the back. Let's give him a round of applause for showing his support. And likewise, our teachers, not only our 5th grade teachers, but teachers from every grade level and every content area that have come here tonight on their own time to volunteer to help with this program. Let's give everybody a round of applause. You ready, Mr. Trader?
Okay, the next piece that we have for you, as you can see, a small portion of our band students. This piece is written by a actually very famous composer, Henry Rochelle. It's entitled Rigadoon, and to be played by 3 trumpets, 2 saxophones, and they did a wonderful job with this afternoon. They told me they're still nervous. I don't know why, and we're here to support them now, and I'm sure they'll do a wonderful job. as I said earlier today, when I'm in 5th grade, I cannot do that. So really, really proud of them. Just give us one moment and we'll get the rest of the band members out here for you.
So while we're waiting for the band members to come out and get ready for their performance, I just want to remind parents that we have penny wars jars going on outside for 5th grade. I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. Pennies are good, so if your child is in Miss McKenna's class, for example, you would want to put pennies inside of there. But silver and dollars are not good. So if you're trying to, let's say, sabotage Mr. Monty, you would put dollars and quarters in his class bucket. If you're still not sure, you can ask Mr. Parsons. He'll explain it to you again out there. I'm sure many of you noticed the yearbook that was out. It's hot off the presses. Flyers will be coming home tomorrow, so you can preview it, and flyers will be coming home tomorrow. And lastly, tonight you're going to hear our wonderful chorus. They will be performing also at the Trenton Thunder Games on June 17th, and the flyers will also be coming home tomorrow, so look out for that.
Okay, as our band members get set up, I just wanted to also pass along a couple thanks because there's a lot of people that without them, what you see here doesn't happen. First of all, to Mrs. Whitner and Ms. Conway, who really on a daily basis are helping me through, I can't even name the number of things, so thank you very much. Also, the constant support of Mr. Nitty, Dr. Ishibashi, Mr. Weidel, and our wonderful Board of Education. Once again, without them, much of this is not possible. So again, thank you very much. Okay, I think they look ready. The first piece that you're going to hear from them, once again, is written for a middle school, or actually it says junior high on the page. This piece is entitled Parade of the Gladiators. Something I've mentioned to a few of the students, but I do want to say, and I've mentioned this to the orchestra already as well, as you can hear, they make it fun for me. They really do. So really excited to have these students here tonight. A little upset that they're going to be moving on, but I want to say that the students that you see up here and for the orchestra. It's the reason why I don't have to come to work in the morning. I get to come to work in the morning, and I really enjoy working with them. All right, our next piece, much different style that this piece will be in, is entitled Fanfare Heroica. And finally, I always like to end the band portion with a march, and this is no different. So this is the march called Fortitude by William Owens.
Let's give our fifth grade band another round of applause for an excellent, excellent performance. I'm not sure if everybody in the auditorium knows this, but Mr. Trader was nominated and selected as our Teacher of the Year this year, so let's give him a round of applause. Next up is Miss Davidson and our wonderful fifth grade chorus.
Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, we would like to welcome you to the chorus part of our spring concert and art show. Would you please stand and join us in singing our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner?
We welcome you as we explore the history of jazz with its music galore. It's America's own music, and soon you will see. As we sing America's history.
Let's begin with some names of the great jazz artists. When they got together and made music, they called it jamming. Thelonious Monk, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Louis Armstrong.
And don't forget Benny Goodman, Ma Rainey, the Dorsey Brothers, Billie Holiday, and so many more. These jam sessions were all about being creative and improvising new ways of making music.
Show you the door. Jazz is the only kind of music born in America. Its destiny was to influence some of the greats we know, like Elvis Presley.
The rhythmic music of the past, the songs of the New World, and even immigrants from other countries shared their sounds, and jazz was born.
Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man's a waiting for for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd.
Well, that's where jazz began, but it didn't start there. A form of jazz developed called the blues. When you're sad and feeling miserable, what do? Sing the blues.
Only 2 days off and 5 days of school. Lunch and homework and cafeteria food. Life can be hard, but I'm paying my dues. And now I know I'm old enough to sing the blues.
He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's paid his dues. He's old enough to sing the blues. I was babysitting my little sister Bess, but I got careless and she made a mess. My father says I'm grounded till 2022. I can't spend my time a crying boo. She's got the blues. She's got the blues. She's got the blues. She's got the blues. She's paid her dues. She's old enough to sing the blues. I tried to train my bulldog, but he doesn't have a clue. It wastes my time and annoys him too. Today for lunch he chewed up my brand new pair of shoes. I guess that proves I'm old enough to sing the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's paid his dues. He's old enough to sing the blues. He's paid his dues. He's old enough to sing the blues. Oh yeah. Blues, soul, Dixieland, ragtime, it's all jazz. One of the first places to hear it was New Orleans. Then they traveled to Chicago. How did they get there? Well, up the Mississippi River, of course. Moving up the river, leaving New Orleans. Going to Chicago, do you know what I mean? Ask us how we'll get there and you'll hear our reply. Up the MISSISSIR. Big and bold and muddy and as wide as a mile. Brand new kind of music and a brand new style. Set your feet a dancing, put a gleam in your eye. Up the MISSISSIR. Hear the whistle, ring the bell. Get on board, fairly well. Well, not when Dad and Dixie gonna have us a ball. Tell my friends we might not get back home at all. Happy smiling faces and you know we don't
Well, we can't complete a story about jazz without mentioning swing. This jazz form came about in the 1920s and 30s. Here's our swing number, Hobo Swing.
Are we having a good time? Oh, sorry. Sorry, let me say that again. Are we having a good time tonight? Well, sadly, it's almost over. I'm so sorry. Well, let's recap of what we learned tonight about jazz. Jazz is America's music. It started in New Orleans, mixing Western harmonies with the rhythms of Africa. It moved up the Mississippi on the riverboats of the early 1900s to cities like Kansas City, St. Louis, and Chicago. It spread like wildfire from the rivers and fields to the big cities like New York City in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, to the West Coast shortly thereafter, and eventually all over the world. It's the only music born here in the United States. We has it, and everybody wants it.
We've got razzmatazz, tazzamajazz, whatever you call it at swings. Do-a-do-a-do-wop, do a little bebop, let's get together and sing. Oh, do-a-do-wah, what do I do? The meaning is simple and clear. We're hanging out with Ella and that dizzy fella, waiting for the blues to appear. We has jazz, jazz, jazz. We has jazz, jazz, jazz. We has jazz, jazz, jazz. Yes, we has. We've got razzmatazz, tazzamajazz, whatever you call it, it swings. Beep-a-doodle-doo-wop, do a little bebop, let's get together and sing. Oh, do-a-do-wah, what Thanks for listening to our music, jazz, the music of America. We made it and it made us. We has jazz.
Was that a performance or what? Let's give the 5th grade another huge round of applause. Mrs. Davidson, Mrs. Akey, Mr. Trader. Good job. So proud of you, boys and girls. Standing ovation. Wow.
Hello, my name is Kennedy Garcia. On behalf of my 5th grade class, I want to show appreciation for Mr. Trader. We have listened to his funny jokes, good advice, and the best thing of all, his music. In order to play music, you have to love it, and that's what Mr. Trader has taught all of us. This is our last concert, and we thank Mr. Trader for a great last 2 years.
Hello, my name is Andrew Richkowski, and I would like to recognize Mrs. Akey on behalf of her 5th grade students. Mrs. Akey has taught us to love art and use it in a great way. She has helped to make this year the best school year ever. It will be sad to say goodbye. We would like to honor and thank you, Mrs. Akey.
This is Mrs. Akey's last year at Antile. She'll be retiring at the end of this year.
Hello, I am DJ Haynes. I have a pleasure of recognizing Ms. Davidson on behalf of my 5th grade class. In kindergarten, you taught us ta-ta, tee-tee-ta. Now in 5th grade, we are performing concerts. Thank you for teaching us the music and being patient with us.
Let's give it up for all of them. Congratulations on a great concert. This concludes the concert. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.